What if I told you that the most expensive AI on Earth is quietly becoming the biggest money pit in business history? Companies are burning millions every single month on AI models that do the exact same thing as free ones sitting right next to them. And the companies that figured this out are saving so much money it's almost criminal. Welcome back to the channel, where we break down the biggest stories in technology. Today we're diving into the open source AI revolution that's quietly flipping the industry upside down. The smartest companies on the planet are ditching their expensive closed AI models and switching to open source alternatives. We're talking billions of dollars in savings, according to researchers at MIT and major investment firms. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this is happening, who's winning, who's losing, and why your favorite AI tool might get a whole lot cheaper. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about the numbers that started this whole revolution. A study from MIT's Sloan School of Management and Georgia Tech found that if companies simply moved their AI demand from closed models to open ones, the global AI industry could save around $25 billion every single year. $25 billion. That's not a typo. The researchers looked at the entire AI inference market, which is worth more than $35 billion, and found that optimal substitution could cut average spending by more than 70%. Venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz ran their own analysis and reached a similar conclusion, saying that switching from closed AI models to open ones would have reduced average prices by over 70% and generated $25 billion in consumer savings. These aren't fringe bloggers making these claims. These are some of the most respected economists and investors in the world. So why is the gap so huge? It comes down to how open source AI changed the economics of intelligence. Closed models like the ones from major AI labs charge premium prices for access to their frontier systems. But open weight models, which anyone can download and run, are often free to use if you have your own hardware. And here's the crazy part, the quality gap has almost disappeared. Small open source models with 7 to 14 billion parameters can now handle around 80% of the tasks that companies need AI for. Things like summarizing documents, classifying customer emails, extracting data, and powering internal chatbots. Fine-tuning one of these small models costs somewhere between $500 and $5,000. Training a frontier model from scratch costs anywhere from $78 to $100 million. When you put those numbers side by side, the choice becomes pretty obvious for most businesses. And the market is already voting with its wallet. Chinese open source models now dominate more than 50% of token volume on OpenRouter, one of the biggest AI routing platforms on the internet. Reuters reported that as AI costs soar, more and more businesses are shifting toward open source models, including cheaper alternatives from China. The cost spike is real. According to Zylo's 2026 SaaS Management Index, organizations spent an average of $1.2 million on AI-native apps last year. That's a 108% increase year over year. ChatGPT is now the single most expensed application in corporate America, beating out iCloud, Canva, and QuickBooks. And get this, 78% of IT leaders reported unexpected charges on their software bills because of consumption-based AI pricing. The bills are out of control, and companies are looking for an exit ramp. Now, this isn't just about small startups pinching pennies. Some of the biggest companies in the world are making the switch. JP Morgan Chase, the largest bank in America, says AI is saving them $2 billion a year. And a growing number of enterprises are realizing they don't need to pay premium prices for every single task. The pattern is called hybrid AI, where you use a cheap open source model for the 90% of routine work, and only pay for the expensive frontier model when you really need it. That simple strategy alone can cut an AI bill by 50 to 70%. Some startups are reporting they've cut their AI costs by up to 90% by routing most of their traffic through open source models. And here's the thing that really scares the big labs: once a company builds its infrastructure around an open source model, it's very hard to pull them back. But let's be fair and look at the other side of the story. Open source AI isn't magic. Running your own models means you need GPU hardware, engineers, and maintenance. For a small business, that infrastructure cost can eat up the savings. Security is another concern. Some companies worry about running models that were trained on who knows what data, especially if they're handling sensitive customer information. And there's a compliance headache, because some open source licenses come with strings attached, even if the model is free to download. The big AI labs are also fighting back with aggressive price cuts. Sam Altman himself predicted that AI prices would drop 10 times every year, which is a direct response to the open source threat. So it's not a one-sided massacre. But the trend is unmistakable: the days of paying whatever the big labs ask are ending. So here's the bottom line. Open source AI has gone from a hobbyist curiosity to a legitimate business strategy that's saving companies billions. The research says $25 billion a year is sitting on the table. The market says Chinese open source models are already handling half of all AI traffic. And the smartest companies in the world are rethinking how they pay for intelligence. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash the like button and subscribe for more videos just like this every single day. We dig into the biggest stories in AI, tech, and the future of money, and we keep it simple enough for anyone to understand. Hit the bell so you never miss an upload, and drop a comment below. Would you switch your company to open source AI to save millions? I read every comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.